today is something different than what we've done every time we've been together. We have a few more interviews for next week also. And this conversation grabs me in a way of remembering when I was trying to launch who I was, because I was going through so many changes, launching my business, having conversations with people that may want to work with me, or I want to say yes to them, but I don't, I didn't feel bold enough to express who I was, what I wanted, and I'd get confused sometimes. And somebody would say, do you want to work with me? This is the stuff that I have going on. And I would be really confused because I couldn't tap into who I was. So today it's about that kind of stuff, like really working on discovering who we authentically are. And what stops us is what Regina Añora and I are going to talk about today. It's about when you are kind of hiding from like hiding from yourself, and you don't know it, you just don't know what the next steps are, but you know that you're just like so massively powerful when you're in that stage of being able to see exactly what you want in life. And sometimes you're just nailing it after and after and after again after you really state it. And then all of a sudden you hit rock bottom again because the work is this: claiming out there what you want to do, and you only know what you know right now, and the trust in the divine space that whatever you feel right now is the thing you want to just put out there. Don't even second guessing it, then move forward. But it's the day-to-day work, so there's tools along with that. So I have Regina and Nora here, and we're going to go into that, and it's going to be a different angle in based on the conversation that her and I had today when we were starting up, getting ready for the interview in the green room, all that conversation. So, Regina, Anora, welcome in.
Hi, Rhonda. Thank you so much for inviting me in this event. I'm
I
actually so
love,
excited and also nervous.
yes, and it's wonderful because it's authentic. Being authentic is what helps people really love on you. Because when you say you don't know stuff or that you are, because like what we're talking about is like our personal emotions and how much we put out there. And when you're claiming something, being big and bold, you know that you're going to have some naysayers because there's going to be some people that just want to push you down. And
Mhm.
and so you're afraid maybe of like making those big statements, or the trust within yourself of like, well, I step into those boots of like I feel really powerful today and I want to claim these things, but I'm also concerned about, whatever that concern is. So can we
Yeah.
go in there, Regina, just talking about like you were like wondering, what kind of things do I want to claim today? And before I get you started, I wanted to tell the Fresh Talks Global Vision, if you're watching, when you are watching the show, that kind of put yourself in these shoes that you fit in every day, and you're like, these shoes don't fit right. There's something I need to claim
Mhm.
out there. There's something that I need to get to that next level. And I hear it or I don't hear it because I'm stopping myself, or I hear it but I'm afraid to say it, and it just diminishes all the beauty of why you started a business, why you are creating the personal, powerful you that maybe you never thought you could be, but you just keep showing up and somehow it shows up. So, Regina, partner with me on this, my friend. Like in our conversation we had this morning, however you want to introduce it, but this conversation really is about like, what do I want to claim out there today to be part of what I am working on. And with your business, with helping others with their dreams, you have your dreams to help others create their dreams, but you also have your dreams of how big you want your business and your life to be. So share what you want
Mhm.
about what we were talking about this morning.
All right. So this morning, it's actually 1 a.m. in my time right now. So I had the whole day to think about I had the
It's
whole day to
morning.
think about what I should be sharing during this live event. But then that didn't really sink in the this morning, this afternoon, but it sunk in this evening, you know? So it's like, okay, there um 4 hours just before this event. And I was like, I'm really panicking because I know I've been in the event also, live session event this year. And this is like, oh, it's not my first time to jump in this live session. So I'm not actually afraid of getting in the call, but I'm more afraid of sharing my truth. Because right now I'm still at the space of, should I filter some of the things? So it's like, should I so like I'm hearing some naysay in me, so it's like, okay, I have to share this with Rhonda, not to just get encouragement but also get my thoughts out and get that pressure off me, you know, because I think one of the number one enemy that we have is ourselves, and the number one naysayer of our dreams is ourselves as well. So I think having that someone to speak out, to share, you know, to have that accountability as well, to encourage you as well, is really important, so that um have someone to take off that pressure off, because sometimes um you're not seeing the things about yourself the way you should be seeing yourself, because we're just
Yeah.
being unkind to ourselves.
Well, I like how you said that you weren't afraid to come into the call because you've been live this year with doing the various things you've been doing.
Mm-mm.
Maybe we'll backtrack and just kind
Actually,
of talk about what you've been doing, but also we'll finish this conversation too about not being afraid to come in. It's like, okay, I know I want to say these things, but am I going to really claim this? And what's the boundary? Like you're looking for your boundaries. And so I say there's endless boundaries. So we're going to go back to that conversation in a moment. Can we backtrack just for a moment and talk
sure.
about what you actually do? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing out there to help people?
I actually a creative. I do call myself creative marketing specialist. So I am a virtual assistant and freelancer. I help people, especially in the health and wellness industry, get out there creatively. So I do basically anything in the marketing and technical. So I do social media, landing pages, website, and help many coaches already, business owners, and what's that entrepreneurs, put themselves out there creatively, have that idea, from have that space from idea into an actual thing already. So I do have my own small agencies, and I actually built that last year. Still growing little by little, but yeah, that's what I do. I actually found my mission. Like, when I started my agency, I didn't had that concrete or clarity on what my purpose is, but this year I actually just have that clarity already. So I believe I'm here on earth to also empower people creatively, turn that ordinary life event into an extraordinary and impactful to the lives
And
of
I trust
others.
what you're saying, Regina, because with our work together, you really wanted to know who I was, and then you were
Mm-mm.
learning, well, how can I interpret that? So there was like this personalized feeling that you were
Mm-mm.
wanting to know so that you could personalize it. You're like at that level. You don't want to just do posts and just do this, but you
Yeah.
really wanted to know who I was so that you could creatively partner with me. And it all comes down to connecting with people because the more that we connect with people and they get to know us and we keep showing up who we really are, because we have different layers, but just like being
Mm-mm.
relaxed, that you help us make more money and we need that money and that connection with people because all of that is as one. If we don't have that, because sales is not really sales anymore for high creatives. It's not really about sales because sales naturally come, but you're there to help people to maybe even learn more about themselves because you just keep showing up doing different posts or different ideas for people. So you're almost like pitching like, hey, this is what I see. What do you think about this? So it's something very powerful on which you've stepped into. And Regina, how long have we worked together? Was it 2 years, 3 years? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I think we've worked for 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, and watching you evolve into this, and your English is so good. And maybe not everybody will be able to understand. So take a moment to really breathe in, because sometimes with accents, it's a little bit harder for me because I have an accent to Regina. Regina has an accent to me, but when she speaks English, so clear relative to what it was, like 3 years ago when we first started working together. But we worked together for 2 years or something like that, whatever the numbers are. So do you want to get back there then about like what you want to claim? Should we get in there and talk about like some things and the way you're feeling about this and what you want to put out there? And this will help our viewers also, because that they want to be claiming something bigger, up leveled than what they are. I know when I went on my spiritual journey, I wanted to start being real, that I could feel things and understand, and that I was on a different plane of spirituality, and that was important for me to share, and it was hard for me. So what are you working on, or what are you claiming for yourself and where you're at in your life?
I think I am claiming more to be intentionally creative. So this year hasn't been easy in terms with, because I actually, starting the pandemic, I committed myself already to growth, to that space for growth, and and it's been challenging, so sometimes when you commit to growth, yourself would just switch off and on, like, okay, I can do this, this is not, this it's so not easy, or you're self-sabotaging from time to time. But
Yeah.
this year I dedicate myself intentionally for growth, that even though it's been so challenging, personal stuff happened that that impacted my heart, my holistic being, even my health actually. I got sick because of the personal stuff, but because I really was intentional in what I want to do in life and where I am heading forward, so I strive, even though it's like, okay, this is just a season. It's not something, my whole background and my whole masterpiece. So I stood above those that experience, and I think
Yeah.
I'm claiming more of that power, more of that intentional creative. Actually, wanna do also relevant to what I'm doing right now is that I want to do intentional in terms with my painting, because it's been so long since I've
Intentional with your
painted.
paintings? Intentional with your paintings?
Yes.
Oh, tell us more about your paintings. This is
Oh,
cool.
I actually don't share that much, but I do sketches. I do paint abstract. So I'm still learning with hyper realism kind of painting, but I do abstract paintings, and it's been so long since I've done that, because I think doing art is my soul's mechanism and expressing more and identifying and understanding more of that hidden voice in me. So yeah, I want to be intentional on that, especially in next year in 2024.
Yeah, I love that. And especially, you create from your heart. You're not taking
Mm-mm.
somebody's stuff and creating from that. So you come really from like within, which is sometimes harder to claim, because you're like, oh, well, I'm going to do this because this is proven and this is a process and stuff. So there's the trust of
Mm-mm.
knowing your background, that you know how to help somebody, or you know how to step into growing a business because you're watching people grow businesses too. So you know
Mm-mm.
that kind of stuff. But when you're creating from within, like for people's posts to what you're claiming, like your artwork, that seems to be the real sensitive space because there's naysayers out there. There's people just like the other day, I posted a video. It's like 7 minutes, me on stage. It's like so happy with the words I said. I was like, wow, I didn't know, I just kind of blacked out, blanked with even what I said because I didn't know really what I was going to say, but I was happy the way it turned out. And I looked at myself and I go, man, I look swollen. Man, I wish I didn't wear that outfit.
I
And
do
I
have
started,
those too.
yes, I started down that route. And I'm a person that says, yes, I'm a health coach. Yes, I transitioned off of medicine. And yes, I do have some swelling as I'm going through menopause, but I'm the kick butt when it comes to supporting you. And, like we're claiming those things. So it took me a little bit before I released the video. I released the video. My first comment was, well, if you're going to do that, you should address differently. Or it could have been, maybe I could have been looking something different. Like, so I'm talking about sexy. I seriously feel sexy. I don't have to be whatever that vision is of that person, but people
Yeah.
go, you're vulnerable in the space that you're claiming. So I want to go in there and see kind of even more stuff that you're claiming. I want to support this thing in December. This is the time when we feel down. It's easy to go down the rabbit hole. But you know what? When we're here to catch you or people around you or whatever, but catch yourself because as you go down deep, when you pop up, some powerful things will get you prepared for the next year. So tell me, Regina, what are you, the painting, but what else are you creating that you really want to put out there? And some things you may
Um
already have out there, but you want to grow bigger.
Actually, I want to also build more of my brand. So I want to get myself out there, create more content, show up in
Yeah.
content, especially in video. Actually, I resonate so much with you in what you share because sometimes there are times that I book the day for content creation for video, for TikTok. And then when I do that, it's like, hey, wait a minute, you look fat in there. You look so swollen in there. Is this the right thing? Like, am I targeting the right topic for this content or something? So there's like so much going on in my headspace that okay, calm down, Reg.
Hey,
So
Regina, what do you do? What do you do? Because I think you have some more to claim here, but you just brought up, like I've been working with people saying like I'm tired of the scale saying this, and I'm
mm-mm.
swollen and all that kind of stuff. But what what do you just called yourself? Did you call yourself fat? Like I look fat? Did you do that?
I actually because of the personal things that happened to me, food was my emotional, my defense mechanism. So I've been eating cravings, a
Uh-huh.
lot of stuff. So yeah, I grown so much, but yeah, I call myself fat because I gain weight so much, wrong.
Have
But
you?
I'm not fat shaming myself, but rather I'm actually saying it because it's actually true. I've gained so much weight,
Yeah.
but I
Mhm.
love my body. Though I want to feel more confident on it
Yeah.
by being healthier, more lean, because it's not good to have so much mass weight because
No,
in
it's
scientific,
not.
right?
It's not, but I'm glad you're not. Yeah, I'm glad you're not shaming yourself. It's just like getting used to who you are, so then your body will slim into that healthy space again. Because
Mm-hmm.
when we up level, sometimes it's like so powerful that it's like you want to slow it down a bit because it seems like like my brain is going crazy, and so then
Mm-hmm.
eating slows it down. And so you can't feel all that power. And you're like, oh, this is good. This is
Mm-hmm.
good. You start numbing yourself. So you're learning that you're growing emotionally and you're doing more powerful things you did last year. But through the journey, your way to kind of numb things and dull things because you just felt so powerful this year is like by eating. So what are you claiming now about like the way to lose this weight is like stepping in your power, isn't it then? Isn't that like what you're
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love these conversations. What else out there that was really opening you up and exposing you to some wonderful new things that you are saying, I want to claim this stuff.
Oh, actually this year I started coaching people. So I was given the opportunity to be one of the coaches in RSA. I was the coach of social media and branding, and I want to continue that moving forward as well. So I actually. I believe I shared it with you. I don't like teaching people since a short background, my family, my mother's side, my mother is a teacher, my grandmother is a teacher, my
Oh,
aunts are teachers. So it's like, okay, that's not the route that I want to go forward. But I just found out this year that I love teaching. It may not be the same with my mother or my family, but I love teaching people on what I know and where my heart is, which is being creative. And that's what I found out in being a coach as a social media and branding
yeah.
coach. And I've
Yeah.
mentored aspiring VAs also this year, and I would love to do more of that in the
Mhm.
next year, next few years,
Yeah.
because it's not just about um you're coaching people, but you can also gain wisdom out from their experience. Oh, that's something I have not experienced, but that's so awesome. Listening to their experiences, so where they're coming
Mhm.
from in heart. It's so inspiring as well, since I'm also gaining some wisdom out from them.
It's
And
like a
I love
master class, isn't it, Regina?
yes.
Yeah, it's like a master class. And you know what's interesting about what you're doing is that it's not the industry of coaching is so beautiful if you step into it and don't believe you have all the answers. It's just like getting
Mhm.
smart on the questions you can ask, to being able to say to somebody, I don't know that, but people know that you're insightful and that you're going to do the research. And with you having a heart like that, that's wonderful that you're going down that additional route as you're building your agency also. So can we talk about your agency? How are you supporting people these days? What kind of stuff are you doing in your agency?
I think in my agency, I actually my team is also doing what I'm doing. So we support from the administrative to marketing and technical support. So we do email management, social media, landing pages. Basically, what I do as a virtual assistant, I streamline that one into a business, helping more people, more coaches and business owners out there by helping also people who needs work. So it's like there's so much space to give in to help more people.
Yeah, I love that. Well, our time seems to be up. Are you happy with what you claimed? Are you feeling better now
Yeah.
that? So that's why this conversation is so important. This is part of like the 12 days, 12 experts, really stepping in to having a powerful December. I really appreciate you sharing, because I know one of the things was I'm concerned about being with you just because I want to make sure my English is good. And if you're comfortable, then it's easier to say it. So I'm happy that I got to hold that safe space for you as you got to claim these new things. And so, everybody that is out there listening to this, I'm going to put a link in here that Regina is going to send me to be able to connect with her. If you want somebody that has a very creative heart, it's really cool to watch what her agency can do for you. So I'll make sure that she does, gives me that link. Anything else you want to say, Regina, before we head out?
Thank you so much, Rhonda, for allowing me to have this opportunity to speak. I actually love speaking. I fell in love this year, um, inspiring people, and I hope in my own little ways through this live event, I'm able to inspire your audience. And thank you so much once again for allowing me to put a step forward in my growth path.
Beautiful, my friend. Fresh Talks Global Vision. I am so happy that we've been able to have Regina Añora here. Think about where you feel stuck. This is a very authentic conversation. And in some ways, sometimes I think people come into these conversations and think, oh, that's so boring. That's what's cool is when something's boring, that means you're not really stepping into it. There's something that you are hiding from. So think about what you're hiding from in your life. What are the things that you want to announce out there that you haven't? I say go straight to social media, go to your newsletter, go to talk to them, go and talk to a friend that you haven't told them maybe how spiritual you are, like the things that you see, the things that you do, or that you want to have, start doing paintings, like what Regina was talking about, doing more of that. She's a very, very creative person. So get out there, challenge yourself, and I will see you next week. Happy holidays. Appreciate you. Thank you, Regina.
Thank you, Rhonda. Happy holidays, everyone. Enjoy your Christmas season.
I love it. Woo woo.